giving maybe class on this table. So be closer to the Zoom. I'm going to bring the Zoom to the table. Yes. Just the timing is every day from Sunday, Monday from 10:30 to 12. No, and Tuesday is from 10 to 11:30. Because Rabbi Sackton gives a class, I don't want to intervene with his class. Tuesday is from 10:30, from 10 to 11:30. Sunday, Monday is from 10:30 to 12. Yom Shlishi is from 10 to 11:30. Okay? Yom Revi is no shear. Yom Chamishi is a shukra. Yes. Yeah, I still expected all the boys to come to this third year on Thursday. I don't see even one boche here. Only one, Rabbi Yom and Rabbi Yoshua.
I can take out their
elder boy.
Other questions was very obvious.
Well, yes, there was a wedding yesterday. It was yesterday? What do you know? 2 days.
4 years.
2 days. So there's a wedding 2 days ago. Yes, jet lag. But still, they need to be here. It's your responsibility. Meantime.
But the ratio says that the problem that they don't understand, they are suffering. I wake up and that is not perfect. And I went today because they have to know that it's not today, it's not perfect. And also, I received it, and also we changed the time to 9. We're starting this week 9:20 with hopefully. We started like 10.
Okay.
10.
All the tirutzim of the Yetzirah. The mice, I don't need to see even one bucket. One bucket. Okay. Who Melech is okay. 3 elder. What?
Want to give this question?
Yes. Okay. We'll start learn ourselves. Good. The truth is, again, you know what? Because before, nobody came. and plus, I didn't come to the morning shir. Now at least I have 1 shir a week, an hour and a half, and I relate to them.
And didn't say that the shir plan is going to be for the breaking of the bone.
No. Shir plan is for everyone. But I don't force them to come because if they don't understand, they don't understand. I'm not going to make a guy sit here an hour and a half, 2 hours. That's what I'm talking about.
Very good.
I do. Okay, so, I'm like Paroi. First time I said, okay. Second time I'm going to start pressing them. Third time I forced them. Fifth time I said, otherwise get out. A rabbi just told me that yesterday. Some rabbi from Lieberman as yeshiva. So he says, you hear this Rabbi Reuben?
Sending message to all the
Yeah, very good. Now said this Rabbi Lieberman says, the first month, the boy comes to me, I don't tell him, I don't talk to him 1 word. After 1 month, I call him, said, listen, do you think it's a hotel here? It means you have a relation. You have a time, you already stay a month. So it's like Avraham Avinu, you give first food for free. It's okay, you have to bracha, and I'll make a bracha, pay for it. It's a hook. It's a trick. You have to find ways how to fight the Yitzhak. Okay. The same thing is here. I let guys float in. Right, Rebbe Eliyahu? For years. And I press them to learn a little bit. Tricks. Ways how to trick the Yitzhak. Give them a chance, really. It's a Kiddush Hashem, the Yeshiva. Everybody understands the depths of it. What Yeshiva is about. It's big Kiddush Hashem. Big Kiddush Hashem. That we're giving people opportunities to come close to Hashem, even though really, in the way they act, they don't really deserve, belong. But you wait slowly, this, 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, the relationship, you get excited. You try to hook them. Out of maybe 10, 20 guys, 1 guy gets hooked on. Right? That's what it is. This yeshiva's been around for 60 years. What? Okay, good. Okay, with the help of Hashem. So what do we want to do today? So really, I want to explain the options to explain the sugi of the Gemara. Okay? I think that there's two options in Toises and Rashi. Then you have the Birkas Shmuel. Okay? And I want to value out all the options. I don't know if I'm able to get to the Birkas Shmuel. You guys prepare the Birkas Shmuel? You guys prepare the Birkas Shmuel? A little bit. Okay, so we're not going to do Mamash this week. We're mainly going to go on more Rashi Toises. Just to say the options here, the concepts. What? Very good. And the Makna goes. We work on Makna. Zrat Hashem. What the Makna exactly understands, what's my understanding. So I'm going to read it together. And I'll work out the options. Zrat Hashem. And I'm also going to mention my understanding now, orally, the Birkas Shmuel. And put it, wait a little bit for next week, we put the Birkas Shmuel inside. You have to learn it well. We'll see what it really says and try to figure out why he thinks his option is the best, better. Okay? That's my goal. Siyata Dishmai. So we have the words of Rava. Rava says that if somebody's Mekadesh, Chetzi Ish Mekudeshes, Chetzi Ish ain't Mekudeshes. So Rav Mori, Marzut Rebbe de Rav Mori asked Ravina, which is a later generation, right? Later generation after. He asked, hey, V'nifshetu Kedusha Bekula, let the Kiddushin expand an entire woman. So why Chetzi doesn't work? Abaye, Rove, you Rove said. Marzut Rebbe de Rav Mori asked Ravina about Rove's state. Rove said, Chetzi Achin Mekudeshes, why not? V'nifshetu Kedusha Bekula. What do you mean? There's a pasuk that says Isho lechetzi Isho. So it doesn't start. If you have Kiddushin bechetzi, you have a Kiddushin bechetzi on Domi, you can expand Kiddushin Saguba, no. But it never starts because the says Isho lechetzi Isho. So how can it expand? It never started. That was the Makna discussion.
The rabbi says that diuk.
Right. So a question is that diuk is an understanding or mute. If it's a mute, so then we have a kasha. Here we have a pasuk that says Isho lechetzi Isho. So that's why it never starts. That was the Makna discussion. That was the Makna's main kasha.
One of the rabbis said it, but it's not on the floor. It's everyone has to agree to.
Yeah?
That's true.
Okay, but I'm explaining. Here's the question. I'm giving an answer. I said, Bezrat Hashem. Marzut Rebbe de Rav Mori is asking upon Rove. He's not arguing with Rove. So you can argue with Rove. He said, if I assume Rove is right. Understand?
Yeah.
That's it. So if you assume Rove is right, so therefore let me. So comes the Makna and says, if Rove is right, it's a meal. That's the kasha of the Makna. Okay. So really, there's much more major problems, in this concept of nifshet kedusha b'kul. I see two major problems that we have to answer, and I saw that's really what the Birkas Shmuel is trying to answer. We're going to have self-awareness, what's bothering in the sugya, so we have to know what he's trying to solve. It's a very simple kasha, very simple problem. Kiddushin, it's a kinyan. Kinyan isu. Even though it's isu, it's kinyan isu. Aisha niknes, aish koine, aisha niknes, aish koine, makne, right? It's a kinyan. Aish koine says, aisha niknes, she gets acquired.
That's not meant to the king. That's she's kohen.
It says aish koine too. Aish mekadesh.
That's fine. Then they
says aish koine. What is that koine?
The question of the Gemara, why is that?
Says aisha niknes different. What does niknes mean? What is aisha niknes?
A king is a meister, then it doesn't result. That's a man.
That's the question of the Gemara.
Myself what?
Whatever much she did, but it doesn't matter. The text says.
The Gemara says, no, there's a Gemara. The Gemara says, we need to know Chayish Kohen. I know that. But I'm saying the normal after the fact of the Gemara. We pick up this idea that Kiddushin is a kinyan. Kicha, Kinyan. And you have to have a das for Kinyan, das for Kicha. And Kicha, this Kinyan is a Kinyan of with Kesem, with a star. Kesem is a Kinyan in Mamoy. Star is a Kinyan in Mamoy. And it's Aisha Niklas, Aish Koine. It's a Kinyan here. Let me finish the kasha. I didn't even say the kasha. So the kasha is a simple kasha. The preconceived question or the undermined questions everybody should ask themselves. What's the dimyon between Hegdesh, that Hegdesh, it starts opposite. I say, Areze Kodosh. Okay, you can say, my words to heaven is like, the Sira is like doing a Maisakian for Edjot. But definitely the Hegdesh is a Isu, and then the Hegdesh, Hashem is koinet, and if you take it as it's a Gzelo, it's Meilo B'shoigeg, and you have to bring, you pay Ken, Choymish, Vosham, okay, it's Didim. But really, the normal way is you start with sure, and then it becomes ownership. Then there's ownership for Hashem. But by Kiddushin, it's not my words. This is Toises that Beis Amud Beis, the way the Chazon Ish explains the Maskona Toises. Toises that Beis Amud Beis says, the Osar lo Akula Mekegdesh, Toises is Umiyu. Im Oyo Mertali Zu Kudoshli. If somebody says, this talis will be Mekudesh to me, doesn't work. Why? The Gavi shall buy a woman, in the way that she becomes designated to him, in a service like all these who comes in and she's prohibited to everyone else. When I sanctify Kiradalis, not because I acquire it or Hashem acquires it, and then it becomes Kedusha. The Kedusha comes because Hashem, because it belongs to Hashem. So it's opposite. By Kedusha you have holiness and ownership or together. By Kiddushin you have ownership or Kinyan, and then everybody else is also. She's acquired to me, everybody else is also. So if that's really the way it works, I don't understand what's the dimyon. Dimyon I have though, right? The number one rule in Lomdus and understanding is Dimyon and Evdel, similarity or separate, different, what a difference. So what is a similarity? The Isu expands, the ownership of Hashem expands, and Hashem can own anything. Whatever it is in the world, it's in the house of Hashem. The whole world belongs to Hashem. But by Kiddushin works opposite. You have you acquire, you do an acquisition, and then she's prohibited. She's married to me. She's miyuchet to me. The whole world cannot touch her. So really, 1 second. One says, I didn't finish the question. So the question should be, I can expand by Kedusha the holiness, the Isu. But I'm going to expand by me expanding the holiness by Kiddushin, and it needs to be first, I need to expand the Kinyan, the Miyuchedes to me the other half. She's Miyuchedes to me the other half, she be also Kedusha. But you can't say that the Kedusha will draw the Kinyan. Understand? Who says a what? I said could be together. But definitely by Kiddushin is not so. By Kiddushin first you acquire, and then she's prohibited. That's what I said. Beis Amud Beis said. I just read it also, right? Because she's miyuchedes to me, then she's prohibited everybody else. It works. So first there's an acquisition. So here, if I want the second half to be Kiddushin to expand, what do I need to expand first? Expand the Kedusha or expand the Kinyan? Mele the Kedusha is there and nobody can touch her. She's awesome to the world. The Isu is a result of the acquisition. So what do I care that I can expand the Kedusha, the Isu, but I need to expand first the Kinyan. And the Kinyan brings the Isu. How can he, when I expand the Isu, the Kinyan will be expanded unless I say I don't need to expand. Unless I say I don't need to expand the Kinyan. Because Kinyan Beketzi is complete kinyan. I just need an isu b'chetzi, so I expand the isu, but the kinyan is not b'kuloi. Maybe we'll say so. Maybe. So it's a Birkas Shmuel. You heard about the Birkas Shmuel? Some people want to learn like this in the Birkas Shmuel. Some people. Yes.
Yes, koch b'ma'avor olivsho. So the Biblia is not Maaseh like Birkas Shmuel,
Yes.
and not the beginning and end starts with kinyan, finishing and not the end starts beginning. There's a new concept. Rashi says, yes, koch b'ma'avor olivsho.
Yes. What does that mean?
Not the Maaseh kinyan, and not the result, and not the beginning, and not the end. The koch of the words, koch b'ma'avor olivsho. The words of Ekdesh makes it. It doesn't make a difference when, where, how, where. It doesn't make a difference.
One second. Let's talk about it. 1 second. Let's. I want to repeat that if I understood what you said. Okay. Let's analyze what you say. When I say Agan Mekudeshes Lechetzi, so I'm doing a Maaseh Kiddushin Bechetzi and Isu Bechetzi, right? What? Okay. I'm not arguing about that. That's not my point. And when I say Nivshe Kedusha Bekula means that my words, when I said the word Chetzi, the words, it's a physical concept. I'll take it as if I make it physical. And I say I stress the words from Chetzi to all. Once I have a full word for all, the word makes a kinyan and makes a Kedusha. That's what you said? Oh, so I didn't, oh. Good. So what did you say? I thought that you said Ekeoinu. I wanted to knock that out. But, so. Good.
You have the Chetzi and you have the
Yes.
Mekudesh. You say Mekudesh.
What expands? The Maaseh kinyan, the Chalois, the Isu, what expands? Show me, point me. You should put your finger and show me what.
Which words?
Which words?
The words have the water or the water. The water has a craft to spend everything. The koyach of the words doesn't. It doesn't make not this, not that, not that. The words doesn't. And automatic. Not the man, not the words. If you said chetzi, you can move it. Because that's the chet stuff, the different reason. But in the emphasis is not doing nothing. The word, the
Which word? I'm Mekudesh. It's good. So the word Mekudesh becomes fat. Starts becoming expanding. What does that mean? So but I need a kinyan and I need a chalois. So tell me what does it? How do I have that? If the words expand, how can Kiddushin expand? How can it make a kinyan and it needs to expand? No.
Say the kinyan is a problem.
Yes.
Say that is to solve all the problems. Even you say the chatziyah, the koyach of the word can solve the overcomes.
He's saying words. How? Show me. Explain how.
Even if you said chatziyah.
Yeah. Of the devil. How makes a work means magic? How? What expands? So where's the kinyan and the chalois expand? Why the Kedushes? Her Kedushes are all good. Now she's holy. It's a kinyan. I should be this. Where's the kinyan here? Where's that?
I'll tell you where the
1 second. 1 second. That was bothered by the Big. That was the major problem with Kashmir that he went to the south. And that's my understanding. That's the understatement that the Kashmir tried to solve. How he solved it, we'll see. But this, I think, the problem. The problem is on the table. Good, you're expanding Kedusha. Good, holy. Holy. She's now holy. But holy. I guess I expand the words, and then the words makes a key. And so even if I expand the word, which my difference there to make a kinyan. Okay? Unless he said, it's a din in das, you have in the das, and maybe you have das bekula. That's the whole big kashmir. That's how you try to solve it. Try to magically. But without the big kashmir, it's very hard to understand this. This is the number one question, which I understand The Bikkur Shmuel says, how exactly in depth is I'm going to see next week. But this, in my understanding, this is a question number one. They should ask themselves, what's going on? Okay, holiness can expand. But where's the Kenyan? Where's the Das? My Das wasn't half. Yes. Yes.
To say that it's like another Kenyan of like an object. It's not the same. The Kenyan is responsibility. When I marry a woman, I need connect. But
I'm with you, Rabbi Reuven, I'm with you. But Kenyan is not a Kenyan of Mama, it's a Kenyan of Yisrael. So you need to have Das.
Who's not
You have to have Das of a Kenyan
the
of Yisrael, there was a Das. So my Das was only on Chetzis, even though my words can expand, but where's my Das on the Kenyan at all? This is the number one question. So we're going to say other ways of solve this. I'm going to say today other two ways, which I think can solve this question. Besides the Bikkur Shmuel. Bikkur Shmuel has his way. I want to explain another way, which I think it fits in the language of Tosa and Rashi. And that's what we're going to do today, Bezrat Hashem. So let's see. So Rashi says, yes, what do you want to say, Reb Chaim?
He says that she has to agree. So
Right.
that's second.
She has to agree.
Then
It's not only words. You have to have a Maaseh, you have to have Nesinas Kesef for the sake of all. The Nesinas Kesef was with the words of Chetzis. Where's the Nesinas Kesef? Where's the Damas? Basic kingdom, Nesinas Kesef, or Shtar. You didn't understand the Kesef. The kingdom, the moment he did, and that's the simple kasha in the table. So I can expand Kedusha and Isurim, like disease can expand. Where this can expand? Where is the expansion of the Kenyan and the Das of the Kenyan? That's a simple kasha. So let's see how Rashi and Tosha solve it. Let's see these words. Rashi and Tosha spent at least 5 words, and Rashi another 9 words and Tosha. Okay, they spend time to explain it. So let's see what they say and how they solve it. We're going to ask questions back and forth. What was the habit? What was the maskana? We're going to go try to figure that out. Go to Rashi and Tosha. Then, if we find 2 other ways, next week, which we learned the Bikkur Shmuel, we have to ask ourselves, there's other way to solve it. So why the Bikkur Shmuel chosen that way? Okay? Yes, Rabbi Shmuel. Yes. Yes.
Also, it doesn't become kidney.
I'm the Kenyan, but it starts opposite. Once I'm Michael Kedusha on it, Mimel Hashem is coined it. Or at the same time. Or at least the same time, but not opposite. That I'm makne the Egdesh, Mimel Isu comes in. Or at the same time, or Isu first. But Kedushin is definitely not so. Kedushin first you have to do a Kenyan, and then she's also with Lam. That's what Tosha says. That's Tosha not based on what base. Look at the Chazon Ish, he explains it. What was that in Maskon with Tosha?
you have to know him a favor.
What?
Language is the thing. When you say the woman I have possession,
Right,
so you have the Russian intuition.
right.
You say about an animal, he also have each, game.
Right.
So also I have the Russian.
I don't say Mikudishli, this is sanctified for me, my name. I sanctified, me, Mikudishli, for me it's sanctified. Doesn't work. So somebody says, this talent is for me is sanctified. Wouldn't work, Tosha says. By Kiddushin, if I say this woman is sanctified for me, works. Because by her being acquired to me, she's prohibited everybody else. But by Egdesh, I can't say because is prohibited. For me, I sanctify the God, the whole world is sanctified.
The talents require the talents. Why is there a difference?
No, but by Kiddush, not by Kenyan of talents. Talk about sanctifying talents.
Yeah, he goes forward, he wants to sanctify the talents, acquire talents to sanctify.
The Lashon Kiddush, what does that mean by Kedusha? By Kedusha means it's not because this is personal mine, therefore everybody else prohibited, because it's personal to God, everybody else is prohibited. Doesn't work like that.
Talis.
By Kiddushi. By Kiddushi, because it's mine, therefore everybody else is also. By Talis, when Kedusha by Talis, is not because it's mine or for me it's for Hashem, that's why for the whole world it's for Hashem.
It's because he's talking where a person wants to gain ownership. Let's say it's half, and he wants to gain ownership by saying this is Mekadesh sleep.
No, who says that?
But he said Mekadesh sleep.
What does that mean? No, for me it's sanctified. For me, it's sanctified. For me, it's considered sanctified. Nobody wants to give it to Shammai.
Just like the woman wants to give it.
If somebody goes to the store and he says, Tali's in Mekudashli. What does that mean? I'll follow you. So he's using Lashon Kedusha. So one second, let's say, why if somebody goes to a store and he says Tali's in Mekudashli, why does it? Yes. Why?
Not here.
Not because what I meant Mekudesh means I want to acquire it. Anybody else still cannot touch it. Because the Lashon Kedusha doesn't mean it's mine and everybody else is also. The Lashon Kedusha means what?
It doesn't relate to ownership. That means he's not saying I own it.
Oh, very
Owning
good.
is not
I'm saying this Tali's
from
good. So I'm following it. So the kasha comes back here. Dusha, you can expand the isu. Mimela, the ownership goes in. The ownership is a mimela as a result. The meila as a result, mimela. It's not the subject of kedusha, the subject of isu. But by kedusha, the subject is kinyan. So how can I expand isu from? How can I medame the concept of expanding isu to expanding kinyan? Very simple question. It's your fundamental question. You suffer. Simple question. Rabbi, following? What?
The Sabbath Mekadesh goes together.
Mazakit.
Now Rosh Hashiva is the opposite direction.
What? So one says, shh. Right. By Kedusha, the subject is not Kenyan, the subject is Isu. And where's the Kenyan? Because if it's Isu of Hashem, and Mimela is his, but for Hashem is also. It's a result at the same time, and Mimela, I don't know how to make it. It's not my subject. But the subject of Kedusha is Isu. The subject of Kedusha is Kenyan. You have a Kenyan, Mimela, you have an Isu. If I expand the Isu, I expand the Mimela, how can I expand the Ikar of Kenyan? It's a different child. Simple cash.
Say that when he drank Chetzi,
Yes.
there is no Kiddushin Hatzayim, so maybe it's all he.
You're already using Rabbi. You're using words of Kashmul. That's what his way of saying. Today we want to use a whole new methods. Very simple methods. We're going to read it in Rashi and Tosfos, and they solve it. Question: what they solve it? And if we solve it, was not in Maskona. So this is what we want to do. Yes, I'm sorry. I spent enough in the cash. I want to go. Just say one and finish. Yes.
Basically is saying that the Kenyan and but it works with the Lashon Kedusha. It's like one thing, not one Sibra and Mesuba and Mesuba and Sibra. Not this and not that. It basically is the Kodesh is this is.
Yeah, but nobody would say, Rabbi. No one says since Kiddushin works also be Rusi. No one would say that the leader of the story is the Isu. The leader of the story is a Kenyan, can be also Isu. You can't say, I'm answering you, it works too, right? So they don't know. But it's not the point. He was a Kenyan. Because the Kenyan, we learned last 10 years, 20, 30 I start some kicha in Kesef, there's a Kenyan Kesef, Halipin, and she's not right to be coined. It's busha for her to be acquired. But he's suing. No, it's acquiring. It's a status of Isu of Kinyoni. Good. So now let's see what Rashi and Tosfos answer. So Rashi, first of all, says, the first statement of Rashi says twice is misyaches to this problem. Number one, he says, I'm reading Rashi. Rashi on the page. Rashi says, when he says, half of you mekudesh to me, the Gemara said, let it be expand. Why Rashi says? The word mekudeshes, it's in a language of Hegdish. He told the language of Hegdish.
Kedusha.
Kedusha. Hegdish. Kedusha.
It's a difference between Kedusha and Hegdish.
I'm saying language of Rashi. The mekudeshes veloshon Hegdish komar. When he said around mekudeshes, he said in the language of Hegdish. Those are the words of Rashi. I don't know. Well, let's see now. Let's think. What does that mean? Loshon and English. So when he says "Aram Mekudeshes," so first of all, Rashi minimized the Gemara's point. On what Marzuta is, let Kiddushin expand only when he uses the Loshon Kiddushin. When he says "Aram Mureses Le'aran Lekuchel Lechetziek," the Gemara Marzuta din is let the Kedusha be expanded. Only because it's Aram Mekudeshes, he uses Loshon Hegdesh. And in English we know expands. So therefore what? So simply I would say, Pshat and Rashi, that when he said, listen guys, this is the new point. There's a whole new methods, knowledge the Kashua, which we're gonna have to explain back and forth the Kasha and the answer. Very simple. The Gemara Marzuta's Kasha was when he says Aran Mekudeshes, he's saying, I want the rules. Those are the words. I don't want Kedusha to expand. I want the rules of Hegdesh to be here. And in the Hegdesh, I have the rule is the words expand. The words, because it's Shaila Visu. Here, my words will expand. Mimela what? Mimela, I would say, is included in my das. When I said Chetzi means all. I gave an example of my wife. My wife bought this little box of for very cheap, 800 shekels or 1,000 shekels. Michael's very cheap. It's a lot of money, but very cheap. A mattress of polygon. A mattress of polygon costs 5,600 shekels. As number three, as numbers is the pivoting light of technology. Who knows what of the Israeli kibbutzim production? Okay, polygon, very famous. Okay, one of the biggest kibbutzim, the richest kibbutzim produces it. Who knows what? Now they came with a new idea. You can buy it very cheap. You buy a little box like this. I'm not bigger than that. And then you send it to your house. You open it, and when you open it, boom, it starts expanding. You cannot touch it 24 hours. After 24 hours, you have beautiful mattress polygon, the same level of polygon, the original one of 5,000. So 1 second. She bought a mattress this big. And when she buys this mattress, she knows that what? It expand. When he buys Chetzi Isha, and he use the word, and he chose it to use Chetzi Loshon Kiddushin, he knows, that's what it means. It's going to expand. And that's what he meant. Oh, so what do we gain here? What do we gain here? We gain a very big CSI. That is all included in his das. Although he said, and that doesn't mean all for two, because all cannot be for two men. It's not good for two men. It has to be really chetzi. So the words really mean chetzi, but it's a type of word that means all. Because he was able to choose from the shelf many types of kinyan of irusin, kinyan agad lukuchor and mureses. He shows agad. I want that one. I want the expanding one. I want the Aram Mekudeshes. I'm choosing this. So when I say Chetzi, it's Chetzi Mekudeshes, means that mattress that expands. That's what I meant. That's what I bought. So we made 1 second. So we made this including my das. 1 second. We broke here a very big area. The kasha was, I can expand the soul. I can expand the das. I said, it's all included. Like a person marries Aram Mekudesh Kados, like the religion. Right? Aram Mekudesh Betabazu, Kedas, Moshe or Kadas. Somebody's mafshi. the Chazoni said, if you want to take a Tumas and Maises, you don't know all the rules. You say, this is all Tumas and Maises Kados. Or the way it's written in my book, the way religion works. He said, person doesn't have the Kina Mechaber. He doesn't know all the rules. He gets dreams. So how the Kubolim say? So all I'm going to say, Hashem's name, all I daven, it's like the Kavona, Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, and the Arizal, and the Maharu Kados. Works or doesn't work? Works. And not only that, they say, even though the Zohar says if you dream, it destroys, only if I didn't make it 9. If I made it 9, so it's Kados, it works. So I don't destroy it. Who knows? And if I'm not dreaming, it's let me cancel, let me make all those conditions. Here, when I buy such a mattress, when I buy such a kiddush, such a kinyan of a woman, I buy kiddushin, dusha. I buy, so that's why it's all included in my das. You hear it? So we bypass this major problem. Yes, what do you want to ask, Rebecca?
By the law of Efker, Beit Efker. So it's the part of the woman that is no ownership. I don't have ownership or not on this chetzi, but the face says you lady are not, because that's what is prayer. You are not owners of your chetzi because of the kusha, and the kusha now make that the ownership go to this man because of the deal of paying after.
No, I'm not saying it.
So how do we answer that he has no ownership in hand? And because of the Kedusha, and that portion is prayer, now the Torah says, you are owner of all the women.
I'm answering you. When he speaks to her, Aram Goreshus Lechetzi, he says, listen, I'm sending you a Chetzi box of this polygon box. And she heard that, and she agreed to that. Because it's Aram Mureses Bechetzi, it's Aram Mekudesh Bechetzi. Means I'm giving you a bomb, an expansion bomb. That's that type of hits I'm giving you. She agreed. So she agreed for all that will expand. She agreed, he agreed, and we scream, you scream, we all scream, I scream, it comes out, we scream. So great. He said, she said, yeah, but that's what it said. So I agreed, yes, sir. He's buying polygon, he's buying polygon, he's buying a polygon, he's buying Hetzi, polygon Hetzi. He's buying this polygon Hetzi. Because that's why because he wants to do a schmitzer that is in a barrel. It's a polygon. Many people buy polygons cheaper because it's cheaper in words. I only bought you a half. That's what I started. Right, good question, but that's what he said. When it says a person says Raglish Zu'il. Why is it Raglish Zu'il? He only wants Raglo. But I'll say here, he wants Chetzi. He says, what will be if somebody says, I want Chetzi, not Kulay? Will expand or not? By a woman. Chetzi will like Kulay. What will be?
But it says the word necklace.
Yes. Aram Kudesh is like Chetzi, but like Kulay. Yeah, the most cash, do it, the most cash.
Yeah.
Okay, well. Then it start digging in. I think he is like spinning the analyst. I think he is spin half the whole trick here and then yet put a rabbit. I want to show you how it works. Yes. One side we didn't finish. What? We don't know Taisus yet. I'm going to read Taisus in a second. I'm now in Rashi. Yes, Rebbe Yoshua.
The woman doesn't know the din of Enkesh, and so she doesn't know that it's going to spread. Why is that a concern?
It doesn't know. It doesn't matter. If you use such a language that has such credentials, have such rules,
Wow.
so it's there. We don't care. We follow what your words are. And then the dictionary says if you said a word, no sure, if you said a word and you don't know 100% what it means, but the dictionary says that's what it means. We follow the dictionary word, or you say we believe he says you don't know. So you said those words, and so what the dictionary means. What? Well, just 1 second, he didn't finish his speak, Rabbi. 1 second. Right. Okay. So when he says to her, Aram Mekudeshes, she has to open dictionary before she says yes. or she received them. He said, 1 second, let me open the dictionary. Ask Rabbi, Rabbi, what does it mean, Mekudeshes? Be careful, it's a polygon box. It starts, it's a Popeye. It's going to expand. The how do you call it, those, what do you use, the spinach. Go ahead, there's a spinach. Be careful, it's going to start blowing up. You decide if you want that. Yes, I want to know. It's an expense. So includes that. His das, her das. What's it going to get?
If it's not clear, then you can explain what he meant. So it's not, doesn't.
Here it's clear. Okay, here clear. When we said the word Mekudeshes, is it clear that expands? Those are the rules of Kiddushin. Good. That sees a contradiction to the simple meaning of expanding. So we say, what does that mean? It means Chetzi that expands. Now, when he said Chetzi, it's two options. So when he contradicts himself, he said, oh, 0. We assume that it means all. And it means Chetzi that expands. And she heard that and she agreed to that. Okay.
So the older chief.
The Gemara answers, because we not, it's very simple, we answered. We not medame isu to isu. We just say, when he said Agam Kodesh, he says, I want the rules, not the laws, the rules of Hegdesh should be applied. And since Hegdesh, the law expands, here those rules, the law should be as a rule here. That when I say Kiddush, I meant to say that that's what I want. I want to be expanded. The real I want it all. I don't know, Tyson. We'll see. I will get there. Believe you me, we'll get there. Our time is limited. It's already 12:47. You need to stop. So that.
The law avoid the rule. The law make that the ownership.
Yes, because that's the law. That's what he meant. It's like it's included in your words. That's how I would say. 1 second, I didn't finish. There's another few rabbits who have to take over my hat. 1 second, we didn't get to it. First, I want to go to explain the problems that this really doesn't sound fully. Because what's the problem? The problem is, so what's the Gemara's answer? If that's true, what's the Gemara's answer? Let's see the Gemara answer. The Gemara answers, there's an animal, there's a wonderful animal, there's no opposition. Here, there's no das acheres. She heard Kiddushin. She heard she's getting expanding box, a price box, right? She's getting polygon box. And she agreed to that. She only agreed to Chetzi, like Yosef said Chetzi. But he also, this Chetzi is expanding Chetzi. So yes, and we said that's what he means somehow. When it's a steer, I said it means that, means expanding box. So that's what she heard, so she agreed for all. So what the Gemara said, there's no opposition. The same way there's no opposition by him, why is opposition by her when she heard the same words? And with the words that he said, and we explained that it means expanding.
So the potential, she has to agree or not agree, but it's a potential, not a reality until she does it.
Yeah, but she agreed to those words.
But she didn't agree.
She received the money. I'm saying those words by her receiving the money. He says, and he gives her money, and she says, "Oh, thank you very much. I'm accepting." Right, that's all. Then she accepts the money. Finish. Good. So the Hesek Shloimo, we ask everyone to look inside, and I print it out. The Hesek Shloimo, we have a Hesek Shloimo here, Shloimo. You have one. I want to see the Hesek Shloimo, glance it through a little bit, and explain Lichoiro that he starts explaining, but not fully. And then we're going to see in Tosfos. Before we see the Hesek Shloimo, we can see the Hesek Shloimo first.
She didn't agree.
Why should I agree? Why you say
because
that?
the Lashon of the Gemara she agreed. It doesn't say that. It shows you that it's necessary in order for the thing to work. That she has to agree to potential, not the reality, potential.
That's what you're saying. She agreed to the Kiddushin? Oh. No.
That says she has the ability.
When a person tells a woman, I'm Kodesh Lechetz, and he gives her money and she received the money, she agreed or she didn't agree? That's the truth. Yeah, she has accepted. She accepted.
Where's the lesson said she accepted? Where's it say that? Show me. What the word?
What does it say this woman?
Where did she accept?
Where does the word say there's a man and a woman?
She said.
Where's the woman? There's a man and a woman. It's actually because we talk about a case of kiddushin.
That's a Mamela. That doesn't, that's no riot. That's only a.
Okay.
It's work. That's true.
Okay, good.
Only a possibility.
Good. I'm gonna read the language of the Cheshire. Me domi. You have a Cheshire Shloima? We gave it out. People will have it.
Making copies.
It's making copies. Okay, it doesn't matter. I will say it by heart. Doesn't matter. It's not a big point. It is one. He's Mechadish, one point which Davin Nulim said is you have it Davin Nulim too. But he I think his kash is much clearer. He brings a much more clear point. And then we have to explain what he means in his answer. Nichta betziva. The Cheshire wrote in the side of the Gemara. Lichoyro tomuan. Apparently it's big wonder. The ma bekach diyeino misratza bechetzu. What do we care? What's this about that she doesn't agree on that? When somebody sanctifies half an animal, he also doesn't want the other half. The Mila Skinon, don't we talking even a case, the Pirish Behedya by Hegdesh, he says he clarified clearly by Hegdesh. The Lo Yochula Hegdesh Akala Chetzi, the Hegdesh only will take the event only on Chetzi. In any way, the law is the Kedusha expands on the whole animal. We don't care, we don't take care of his words at all. As if you're making condition against what's said in the Torah. You're saying there's no Kedusha l'chatzoy. Not true. When you say Hetzi and not all, you're saying against the Torah. The Torah says Hetzi expands. You're saying there's no Kedusha in the Chatzoy. There's no shake. Kedusha is always expansion. I'm not going to expand. If so, the Kiddushim nami, the Kavaso, the Kiddushim also the same. Ma bekach the talent. What I care that depends on her will. The Vadak, surely. Gabe beim eshel shnei shutfim, an animal of two partners. She Kidushu shneim chetzi abeim, two partners sanctify half animal. The Gam can post the Kedusha bekulosa there. The Kedusha expands on all. Vochenami here also lo dami. He says it's not similar to one ownership to partners that one sanctify half. Talk about two partners that both sanctify half. Vochenami lo dami. This is similar to the same way. The woman also agreed his words that he chosen the Kiddushin through Hegdesh and not Kiddushin through Yerusin Lekich. And she heard that his decision to choose that. So when she heard that, she agreed to that she agreed that it will be Kedusha here, and Kedusha expands. So even if he says, if he made a condition, we don't care, because it does not matter because about Teos, and she agreed to that. So it expands. It's not similar at all to an animal of two partners. And one sanctified. When one partner sanctifies, there's no revelation of the knowledge of the second partner. One partner cannot sanctify the other half without the partner's agreement. The woman agreed to the marriage. It's against her will. From since she agreed to be Kiddushin on half. And which Kiddushin on half? Kedusha on half. It's all included. Now, Kim, it's not Kiddushin Makula like my here. We're asking that she agree the same way.
She would agree.
Right. So, right. I understand. I understand all that. And what's our understanding not like you?
That what he said is not true.
Now what?
It's not in
That why not? Why not? So I'm explaining why not. Because seeing she accepted the Kiddushin, and she accepted the way he gave it to her. He says, I got Mekudesh. She used Loshan Kedusha. And she agreed to be Kedusha on half. we say, we don't care what you say, not the other half. The Torah says expands. So she agreed to Kedusha here. So it's included in the rules of the Torah that expands. By him and by her, it's all the same. What's the difference? That's the simple kasha against this malach, which means basically we said, okay, we pulled a rabbit out of our ass. We said, I don't have to come into the Birkas Shmuel. I can say that really when he said chetzi, isha chetzi means only chetzi. But since he's chosen the Lashon Kedusha, as Rashi says, he could have said Mureses lekucho, use Lashon Kedusha. So it's included in his das that when he says Kedusha, means to expand. And even he said this in his words, Chetzi v'lo kuloi, you're right, he said Chetzi v'lo kuloi, but he also said the Hekdesh. And the rule of it is an expands. And she heard he said Lashon Hekdesh. So it's all, when you agreed that Kedusha will take effect here, Imela, it's part of the rule of the Torah that expands. And we don't care what you said later on. It's like later on, it's like a Tanai. Tanai against the Torah doesn't work. Tanai Sheb'Moman, yes, but not Tanai Sheb'Kedusha. So Imela, it expands. And Imela is all included parts. I'm saying it's all included in my das that I know there's a polygon expanding box. Boom. So Imela, it's all there. But he said Kedusha. He says, you going to be holy, Kiddushin, holy. And Av. She's not saying I'm acquiring Av. Use Lashon holy. He could have chosen many ways. Holy. So he knows the rules of what expands. So this is what it's all easy agreement. Now what basically they did because that's what somebody's doing. He's saying, I can understand the Halamina. You solve the Halamina, but what's the most must come? That's a there's no problem. That's a So although we pull the rabbit, we say, Rashi says, Kiddushin means is all included. The other that's spekulah, mitzad the din kloli of that you know the rule of Ekdesh expands. So what's the Gemara says? She agreed that he married her with Kedusha. And Kedusha has the rules that expands. So it's his agreement, her agreement. And later on, he says, doesn't work against the Torah. So she agreed that it would be Kedusha, and she agreed that the Tnai is against the Torah. So what? So what's the Gemara Dasachas? What's the answer of the Gemara? Comes and the Kesek Shloim they give the answer. What the answer is? And that needs an explanation. And we'll read the Toysas and Rashi to explain what I want to explain. I want to put a rabbit here. Say what it really means. What do you want to say?
It's only in a premise. The whole thing is built on a premise.
Correct. Correct. I agree. I'm not here to because I want to remove it in a second. The maskona. But I want to explain what exactly happened on the maskona. This is what was my call. So let's see what he answered. Let's see what he answers. Good, I know. Good. What? I'm looking now at the Cheshek Shloimo, and the Avnei Elohim both says it the same. They say the same Yisrael. מה? אתה רוצה עוד מים? עם מלח? עצמת 3 ימים, אז אתה לא יכול ללמוד תורה שעתיים? אוקיי. Yeah, if you have such powers, you definitely can learn 2 hours. Even 10 hours. Okay, good. Good. Yes.
I agree with you, everything's right, the mechanism, everything, what's the color. But at the end of the game, it's a chesed.
Right.
So because of chesed.
Good.
It's a chesed.
Good. But what do we say? What was that? What was the Havamina here? In the end of the game, it also said Kiddushi. Since in the end of the game is a stira. So we say it's a. That's his answer. That's his answer. Yeah, that's the point. But we then have to go by what was the Havamina. We go back and forth and play what was the Havamina here. This is what he says.
When you
yes.
The Kaddish an animal,
yes. Yes.
There is no law of death pain. There is meile, knas, but in marriage, the woman must know from the beginning all the responsibility that if she is with another man, she's going to see death penalty. So you can't say that the Kedusha Pashta without she being in that moment knowing of the results of the responsibility of the marriage.
She knows the rules of marriage. She knows the rules of marriage. She only can be with this man, nobody else. She knows if she does, she gets stoned, killed. She knows. He knows. Those, by the way, those are the fundamentals, even non-religious people. Everybody knows once you commit to marriage means only this man, all the men. Everybody knows that.
No.
All of them know. Everybody knows. Don't kid yourself. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Going are so cruel. Listen. The non-Jews not they even extended that not only if the woman goes with another man, she committed adultery. They also think that if the man went to another woman and there's a baby there, they call it a bastard. That's what they call it. That's what they call it. It's not. You don't know. You see, you don't know. No, it's not. It's not. You didn't know. No, if a man goes to another woman, she's not married, it's not a bastard. They think the binding is so strong that if the woman goes to another man, it's bastard. If the man goes to another woman, if she's not married, I had a guy came here a couple of weeks ago, he said, I'm a bastard. I said, wow. My father had a relation with my mother. He was married. I said, and your mother was married? No. She said, you're not a bastard. Yeah, mom said. Most goy make that mistake. So goyim even think stronger. Okay. They want to bind their wives even stronger themselves. But understand that's what it means binding. Okay. So let's go back here. Comes the Cheshek Shloim and he gives an answer. More lumbless answer. Also, that the says the same thing. He brings down the Ram. You following us? So what's the answer? I'm reading now the answer inside. Comes the Cheshek Shloim says, I'll give you an answer according to the Ram. I'm reading in the book here. Venira, it's printed, yes. In the top of the page. Venira de Miserai le Dasaran. The Elosham, the Dorim da Flamme. The Elosham. The Iker Kiddush lo Yishai Chag Bish. Du Mekadesh Oyso Voyso Lachei. Kiddushin is the man. The man does the whole mice of Kiddushin. Aval Biisha lo Shayeches. A woman doesn't apply to Kiddushin. The Mitkadeshes Atzmo Lebailo. The woman is not shaykh that she sanctifies, she mekadesh herself to her husband and she acquires herself to him. Why she's not part of that? It says a man takes a woman, not a woman take herself to the man. So what part she has in Kiddushin? If she's not part of the Kiddushin, of the Maisa Kiddushin, what she is there? Yes. There can only the Ba'inon we need that Isra'atze that she will agree b'kiddushi ha'ish. B'kiddushi ha'ish. She has to agree with the kiddushin of the man. There's only then. The man is like he's zoicha means he's how do you say zoicha? He merits from the hefker. The rotzon shela the mitrases b'kiddushin eino mitraskin b'kiddushin. Her will that she agreed to the Kiddushin is not from the rule, the acquisition or Maisakin or Kiddushin. Rak mitoras efker einshom. Whoa. Does that say you're already an adult. You're from the big guys. All right, Rabbi Yoel. You have to come on. Yes, the Rana says what? That the husband makes the Maisa Kiddushin. If somebody wants to buy from Hefker, he sees a lost object in the street, and he wants to pick it up and to acquire it, right? There's any participation, somebody else with him? It's only he. He does a Maisa King and fully himself. She mafkir herself. I agree to marriage means I mafkir myself, but you totally take. So the whole basic Kiddushin is him. It's only her agree. He needs a shleim, he needs a paper. The whole basic Kiddushin is him. She only is mafkir herself. Oh, so alpizi shleim. Upon this, he wants the answer. The order, what the Gemara says, that when a person says, I want to marry half of you, why it doesn't expand? You know why it doesn't expand? that it doesn't expand because she doesn't agree. Like by two shutfim, two owners owns an animal and only one shoot to fix it they have. So and then he acquires the other half. It doesn't expand because when he was magdish half, it was only one partner. The other partner didn't agree. Why is similar to two partners that one agree, one other agree? Because was no, both partners agrees. But she heard the word kiddushin to expand is like polygon box, and she agreed to that. So both agreed. And says no. You know why it's doime? Only one agreed. She didn't agree. The Gemara didn't want to say it's totally dimyoin that only one partner agreed, the other one. The time of a svara is not a complete dimyoin with reason and understanding. Rather wants to say the kemoid also. It's only a dimyoin, not fully. It's not saying tam and svara. It's not doime the tam svara, but it's doime. In what way? The kemoid also in the chalayigdish klal. My two partners and one sanctified. The other one didn't agree. Then this doesn't take effect at all. Why? The other one didn't agree. But here, both agreed to the polygon box. Both agreed, no. Here also, the Kiddushin never started. I need also her agreement. One second. Why we don't have this? The Gabeisha by a woman, lo doesn't apply the tips of Kiddusha Bekula. Only by the husband, the box can expand. Because it's the Maisa of the husband, he does the full Maisa of Kiddusha, and he found a woman is mafkir to him. So now he does the full Maisa. So his Maisa can expand because he does the Maisa Kiddushin. So for himself, the box can expand. But the box cannot expand to her Rotzon. Her Rotzon is outside of the Kiddushin. And by Rotzon doesn't expand. Why? The Gaboin Materas Kiddushin. It's not from the Maisa of Kiddushin. Hello. מה שלנו שלכם? ומה שלנו? אז אתה מחליף? יופי. He took the wrong box, he said. He's going to exchange it. He's a reliable person. By her, it's not from the law of Kiddushin. Her part in Kiddushin is only Hefker. By Hefker, we never find that if I did Hefker and Chetzi can expand to all. The concept of the polygon box is only in the Kiddushin, and that's fully in the world of the husband. But in the world of women, her part is Hefker. Her part cannot expand. So she agreed. You know, she agreed. It will expand by you, not by me. But she expanded to the Kiddush. And she's not part of that. We didn't find this on the Gabe Egdesh. There's a decree of a Torah. Ooh, this is what the Cheshek Shlomo answers. What is the rabbit that the Cheshek took out of his hand says, no, the Maskone is that although Kiddushin expands, Kiddushin only expands in Kiddushin and Kedusha. And since the husband is the full Maise Kiddushin, so by him can expand. But by a woman, she's her part in the Kiddushin is not part, nothing. She's only mafkir herself. So her hefker doesn't expand Kiddush. She agreed that the Kiddush will expand, but then she didn't agree that the hefker will expand. This is the Cheshek Shlomo. The problem I had with that, still, I'm begging the issue back again. If I was to do it with agreement that once I know expands means, originally when I say Kedusha, Bechetzi, I meant to say that I have das because I know there's a polygon. Also here, she knows that his Egdish will expand. Mimele, she was mafkirol.
That's not in das.
If the Mimele is included in his das, because he knew that those are the rules that's an expanding box, and she knows that he's giving her Kiddush expanding box. So why I say she only agreed to that true that Efka doesn't expand. But we said even Kedusha by Kedusha doesn't expand, because what expands is the Isu. Where's the Kiyam? We said it's included, Now that's a Yadas and Kingdom because you don't experience. The rules they expand, you mean that's what you want. Mitzad Kedusha, so you mean so what you want. How willing is the same? There's all there. So what kind of answer is that? What is the answer? And the answer, what is the answer? That the Kedusha expands only by Kedusha, by Kedusha and the Kedusha by it. That doesn't expand. How we bypass the Bikashmur? By saying, when I know that the Kedusha expands, that's all part of my das of the kingdom that will be at all. So if he said that, she knows that's what she's receiving. She agrees. A das to be Bekin at all, to love Kin at all, because she knows the kind of back she's giving her. So what kind of answer is that? That's my question. Why that's not true? Saying not true is not his fault. It's not true. Why?
Okay, but that's why.
It's Macy.
Yeah.
It's Macy.
No,
It's Macy.
No,
Because she knows she got an expanding box. It's Macy. It's Macy. It's Macy. It's Macy. Why it's Macy? I want to tell you a story. Story. One second. To come down to the atmosphere, I'll tell you a story about my father, Mrs. Miller. My father, when he was about 80-something years old, he had an operation and they put him to sleep for 2 weeks. I don't know if you guys remember, those tell me what it. For 2 weeks he was like in a kind of a coma, and they put him there with drugs that he can be out of it. Anesthesia for 2 weeks. In order his body will adjust to the operation, etc. So my brother, who was very worried, he was 80-something years old, and his heart was a failure, and the kidneys had all the problems. And they said the chance will survive is 5%. That's what the doctor told me. He said, feed him, etc. So my brother was sitting there, and my brother would be Yoshua Tzaddik, and it was going over the first Reb Chaim Levi, about giving a life. Okay? So he's sitting next to my father, going with all peace all day long, because he knew that in his brain is thinking. So he said, I'm telling you what to do. So he goes, says so, the Kash says so, and the Chai says so. That's what the Chai means. It's like he goes to Chai Atzole, it's true. And he says it loud, and he goes on for about 7 to 10 hours. Every day, 7 hours, 12 hours, going sitting next to him, speaking loud. But my brother, he's called Baruch, he had a family member, doesn't live or something, and he was in a car accident, and he went to a coma, and they didn't know whose family is. They had to find who's the rental, who's a car rental, find who rental, some friends rental it. It took about a day and a half till they find out who's the guy. Rabbi Baruch comes to visit my father. What happened was, makes a long story short, his cousin, after 2 days, he wakes up, and his first words was, "They came for him. They came for him." What? But he was sitting next to my father. So the father said, okay, so I'm saying, it will empty your heart and your mind. See, he said, I'm giving you an expanding box, a polygon box of Kedusha. So true, Kedusha can only expand by him because he's the only Maaseh. So he stays Maaseh. So true, the expanding is not by her. She's Oscar. She only gives also. The same way by him, we say, who's the also from the kingdom of God? We say it's all included because she knows an expanding box. So it's all included. And she says, let's see Oscar, and she was receiving a polygon box. It's all included. And she also passed it all. So what's the kind of answer? What did he answer? How was my gosh? I can't hear. So when I give her a sentence, that is an answer to me. I want to see how this answers. So I got to be firm, you guys speak. Why don't you understand? Again, what was the answer of the Chesed Shloim? Yes. That the woman is not really so the expanding goes only by him. That was our question against it. So true that she only mafkir half and the hefker doesn't expand. So he knew she only wants half. That was the point. That's what he said. And we are begging the question that we didn't really answer. Because if it's he bypassed all because she was awareness problem. That was the kidas of the kinaro. Because it was all included that he knows his expanding box. So when she did Hetzi Hefker, she knows she's receiving expanding box. So it's all included in the das to love kinaro. So what kind of answers that? They didn't answer anything. This is my kasha. It's very simple kasha. And I want to give an answer. I want to pull my rabbit here. Zat Hashem, listen carefully. Yes, Rabbi Yosef Chaim, one second.
Women should also expand.
Correct.
That was his passion.
Right.
So the answer is, Hefker doesn't have.
Doesn't expand.
Doesn't have the power to expand.
Right. The answer is, I'm asking Kasha is, when we said his agreement or her agreement, and the Kasha expands, we asked, where's the das and all? Where's the das and the kin and all? So we answered, once I know that it can expand, and I agree to the expansion, maybe I have my das of the kin and all. Once I have that place, I put through into because true that Hefker doesn't expand, only Dush expand, and he's the full Maisa Kiddushin, and he's Zoichim in Hefker, so he does the full Maisa Kiddushin, she's only Hefker, and holds at the Hefker, and also doesn't expand. The same way when he does the Maisa Kiddushin of Kiddushin, and he expands, and where's the Das on all included? Because he knows that the rule, that's what he wants. Same thing as when she's Makichetzi, she knows she's receiving a polyron box. So he made she knows that will expand by him. So she agrees to such a kiddushin to maski for all. Yes.
Expand, but he's still doing expansion, no? So she
Even
agreed that after to get married.
yes.
So she did mock herself to the whole thing.
She also agreed to be married half with kiddushin, a polyron box. That she agreed that he chose in kiddushin not to. She said, hey, she said, I don't know this at the Chetzi. Why? I don't agree to say in Kodesh as a Chetzi. I don't want this polyron box. I only want kiddush irus in the Chetzi. No, she didn't say that. She agreed to his choice.
But that it should be Pashe.
Good.
But that's not like to her that it should be Pashe.
No, that's after agreement. Because she knows if she receives, if we tell she will mafkir herself according to what he said. Because she agreed to that. So she's mafkir according to this expansion box. So it's all there. So the will is there. So the question comes back. Yes, Rabbi Shlomo. 1 second. Yes. Yes.
Say more than, especially says more than.
Yes.
Says that is Yapika Hlustok. He has to do the
You have to go to the bill. So before you go, I just want to give an answer. No, I want to say, pull my rabbit. Okay. I want to pull my rabbit. This is what I said in my book 30 something years ago. And when I came to Zion, I did a Chanukah Sabayis to my house. And Rav Nebenzahl came to my house and he gave me a letter that is like a skoma that I wrote my book. And he wrote me a whole page which I lost, and that's this to tell about expanding Pshat and Toises, okay? But I want to say my rabbit, very simple. This is one of my understanding. Really, this is still in his words. He said, I am the Kodesh means expanding. And he said, right? What do we say? Mitzad is das, not mitzad the rules of expanding. Not mitzad that is not now, decide, what does he want? He wants A or B. So we say like this, you know that you have the free choice to choose. So then you can solve yourself what you meant. Or we assume that you meant to say expanding box. The husband. The man. So when you don't know what he means, A or B, you can solve for yourself what you meant. And Chazal say we agree that since we started, that's what he meant. And I overcome, so we know that's what he meant. But for me, which I didn't choose those of Kiddushin, and I have a steer, I only heard a steer. You cannot force me to solve what you solve. Do what you got, there's a that's ahead. And in a more deeper way, I think this is what it means in the Ritva, that we don't say, what does it mean das ahead? We don't say expansion when you have two days. The Ritva says here and there, we'll see it inside, there's the 2 days you don't say expanded. Why? Because you're covered, when you know that in order to expand, you have to be near line. So when you have a stira and we solve it through whatever our decision, Chazal believe that's what we solve it, that's up to do with you, because you have the free choice and you chose it, so we decide that's what you meant. But you cannot throw it on me, which I'm not part of that, and I hear stira, I don't have to solve it in the order way you solve it. I have it. That's what I solve. And since I left not on me, so there's no line that I meant for all, so we say, it's bottle. Or it stays on the stira. I mean, maybe you want to be on board. That's what it means. That's what I think. And that's what it means I'm touching. Good, so I'm with you. Okay. So what was the half? I mean, if that's true, yes, what do you want to say? Good, very good. Yes. Yes.
Only in the heart. So very still. You mean like this? By him, you have the steel. It's not in that. I'm not exploding when I cheat the sides. It's just steel.
Even deeper, you say, okay, I like this. I like this one. Very good. Okay. Very good. I'm laughing, but it's so hard for me because it wants to have him.
But at least I understand.
It was a question what she meant. She says she meant what she hears, or she meant what you saw when you steal. What do you mean? The other meaning was she agreed to what you saw when you steal, and the Maskana no, she only means what she hears. She hears a steal. She didn't hear a solution of this. That's why he has a free choice. So we can assume we have a pass that's what he meant. But here she didn't have the choice. She only heard. She heard a steal. There's no force, no proof that she heard more than that she saw. This is the way I would say Pshat answer. So I just want to say, okay, this is it. Look inside Bezrat Hashem, inside the Birkat Shmuel for this coming week. And I want to explain what the Birkat Shmuel did and how he solved this problem. So we're going to do the whole Birkat Shmuel inside. The whole Birkat Shmuel in Aleph. It goes through the Kasha of the Makne. I wanted to talk about it. I didn't succeed. It's too late. The Havamim of the Maskon is only Mashmos, and the Maskon is a Mim. It's all on the sheet. And the Birkat Shmuel is in the sheets, in the first sheets. The Birkat Shmuel Aleph, the full Aleph, right? I don't think it's in those sheets, no. It's not in those sheets. It's in Birkat Shmuel. What? No, not all printing papers have it. The new ones don't have it. All on the first set of printing, I put it in. The second and third printing, they took it out. Sifkot what? Aleph? Listen, open the Birkat Shmuel. You have a book in your house. Aleph. See that sign, see it follow. Don't see follow, don't see it, okay? Look inside, and then we're going to compare that. Just what do you want to say?
But we have in Tyson on the days that clearly doesn't learn this Siloka problem. Tyson doesn't hold on the day.
Why?
Because in the Tyson with the
yes, it's your place that said that she said Kodesh, she means she wants to work.
That works.
Right.
That should really work.
So his throw is out. That's a guy that is throw. When she agrees, there's no problem to get up. Yes. It's another guy. Okay, another guy that I say. It's only a shadow what I meant. It's only a shadow what she means. If she knows you, she means it all. So it works. I don't think so. I know. If that's what she wants, she's on preparation before. So that's why I don't see this Vada is wrong. My words is when the Lokach depends on her, if after he represent what he present, she does something to make the Kiddushin. But when he is going to make Kiddushin, but her hefker is before. She first needs to mafkir, then he has to make it. Cannot be a king before she's mafkir, right? So once it gets, that's a preparation. Necessarily, because if she didn't mafkir, his Kiddushin doesn't help.
At the same time.
Because the whole answer, I'm answering, because the whole answer of the Gan is that she's not part of it because she's mafkir and he's taking hefker. Means first she has to mafkir, he's taking hefker, it's all in.
Why could it say?
The guys, and then she's part of it, like if Shlomo said, just Kika, Tiloka. So there's only preparation in Askoma, and there is an outside. So since that's not part of it, so I don't agree to what he said. Okay. Your swagger falls off and say my soul, general swagger. My swagger was that really has a steer in his words. But we made a decision that he needs to say that is expanding box. Although he said chetzi v'lo kuloi, Hetziech means mamash chetzi, but we don't care because he chose in Kiddushin, so we assume that he meant to say I want an expanding box. But when she hears, she didn't choose Moshe Kiddushin, she heard from him Moshe Kiddushin. So she only hears a steer. She doesn't hear the solution of this. Solution is already, it's already a perush. It's not what he said, and she hears what he said. So you imagine she's mafkin what he said. Kind of, I'm using the symbol of the read from the Deus. That's probably shot in places in the Atlas. Okay, let's continue on now. That's it. This is a Gemara. Please prepare. Again, the Birkashmur with the Makne and the answer that the Miluim and the Birkashmur. I want to know exactly what he said. What's his Kiddush? There's a lot of what I didn't say. It's already 1:30. It's too late. See after the Shema. I want to say Musoshmus. Good. La